All right, so welcome everyone. I'd like to thank you for coming out. I see out here we have some of our friends, our community partners, some friends from the media, some of our elected officials, and some of our BTST family here today. We're excited for this announcement and the partnership called the Hayden Hurst Crucial Catch Campaign. So I was introduced to Hayden via Jenna from Vibrancy 21, who was here today with us. And after hearing about what Hayden wanted to do, I was with it from the jump because he had a phenomenal story. But in addition to that, we had a lot of similarities that I knew that would make this relationship great. For starters, we both have great hair. The second thing was that we both work out and are in prime physical conditions and in shape. Me, you're laughing like I'm not in shape. I am a circle. And Hayden, well, you know, you can...
10% body fat.
10% body fat. We were both outstanding collegiate athletes. Hayden was an All-American at South Carolina, tight end. And me, I happened to be blessed to be a teammate of the only back-to-back championship team of intramural basketball at Morgan State University. And if you don't believe me, one of the guys we beat is sitting right there. We both enjoy animals. Hayden's had several dogs, and I eat salmon before I came in. Well, Bronzini. But while I'm sure that you guys can see the commonality in a lot of these similarities and see why that would make us be great for this partnership, the one thing that I think that was most substantial about, the most common thing was that we both shared a passion for mental health and wanting to share our stories and help others to be able to come out to talk about mental health and help individuals that are in need. So that was the thing that brought us together, and I'm excited about that. BTST Services, we're a mental health organization that provides comprehensive programming for individuals, children, and adults with mental health diagnoses. And we provide these services via psychiatry, on and off-site therapy, and a program called Psychiatric Rehabilitation Program, in addition to our nonprofit program, BTST Cares. And last year, we started a campaign which is called Mental Plus Healthcare. It's about combining what we know about about healthcare with the thing that people don't want to talk about called mental health. So it's about combining, reattaching the head to the body. And a part of this campaign, it's about making mental health cool, making mental health relevant, making it socially accepted. And we did this by trying to form relationships with influential people who can come out and talk about mental health and hopefully use their platform to inspire others to come and seek mental health services that may have been ashamed, or provide education about mental health so that people who may have been experiencing things now have a formal word to put with it, and then know that treatment is available and that it is needed. So when hearing Hayden come out to talk about his story about how he was a professional pitcher for the Pirates. We're from Baltimore, so we're going to say the Pittsburgh Pirates. He in developing the yips and not being able to perform to throw the ball anymore, to perform at the level after you've met your goal, you've become a professional athlete, something you worked your whole life for, and then now you have the inability to be able to do it at the height of that, to be able to see all of your hard work pay off. Then hearing about how Hayden just didn't stop there, he wanted to seek treatment to figure this thing out, and he wound up in therapy, amongst other interventions that he's tried. And then when he was in therapy, he was able to express his feelings that he was feeling about depression and stuff like that. And he was advised to use an intervention that we like to use to treat depression, which is called journaling. And from that, he found that to be very therapeutic, and was like, you know what, I'm not gonna stay here in this space. I'm gonna rebound, even though that's a basketball term. I'm gonna rebound, and we're gonna run this back. How about that? We're gonna run this back. So Hayden decided to go to school, college, because he was drafted right out of high school. So he decided to go to school He went to South Carolina and became a great tight end and wound up being drafted by the Baltimore Ravens. So while that is great and is great in itself, and it's to be highly spoken of, what he also did was now that he's become successful and has been drafted by the Ravens, he was like, you know what? I'm not going to sit here and act like I had this thing together the whole time. I'm going to come out and share my story so that other people don't have to act like they've had it together this entire time. And then not only am I going to share my story, because we find a lot of times that now mental health is becoming a popular thing that everybody wants to associate themselves with, and it's great for the work that we do. However, Hayden is also trying to put his money where his mouth is. So he's formed this foundation that is raising funds to pay for therapy sessions for student athletes, and I guess that's why we're here today, because they decided that BTST would be their partner to provide these therapy sessions. So just a brief overview about this, because I know you guys really came to see Hayden and not me. The crucial catch is we're going to be providing 81 therapy sessions to student athletes. Critical, Jerry, I am sorry about that. Hayden's critical catch. We're going to be providing 81 therapy sessions to student athletes. And the goal is to pick different schools that we'll do this thing at as we continue. But the first 3 schools that we're doing is Poly, we're doing Coppin, and we're doing St. Francis. And it's about not just providing therapy so the student athletes can perform better on the field. It's about treating who they are off the field. We know a lot of them get a lot of attention, and they have a lot of pressure that they're dealing with from their community about being the chosen one for the community. Their parents, sometimes these individuals that are playing sports could change their family's socioeconomic situations. But then also you have social media, so you get to live out your highs and your lows. So the pressures of all of these things that student athletes are, and then the competition between other teammates and the scrutiny of coaches. So our goal was to make sure that we not only focus on the athlete part, but making sure we treat the individual. So we're going to go on this press tour. We're going to start with Poly today, and then we have St. Francis tomorrow, Coppin on May 8th, and then we have a school in Washington County on May 9th, and it all ends with a golf tournament next Friday where we'll hopefully be raising a lot of the funds to be able to provide for this program. If there's more information, and Hayden has such a great story that I can't just sit up here and talk all about it, but we've produced a film that anyone can watch by going to our website, www.btstservices.com. You can check out the film, or you can also go to the Hayden Hurst Family Foundation, haydenhurstfoundation.com. And this is where you can donate if you can't make it to the golf tournament, but you can definitely donate there. You can watch the film, and if you feel inspired, you can get involved. But again, less about me talking, more about the other individuals that are here. So if you guys can help me put your hands together and help me bring the 2018 Baltimore Ravens first round draft pick, Mr. Tight end, Mr. Hayden Hurst.
I'll be pretty brief before I bring up the brains behind this. I'm just a pretty face that you guys have to look at. But we are extremely excited to kick off the Critical Catch campaign. Today will be the first day. We're going out to schools and reaching out, in our partnership with Chris and BTST services. But my biggest thing that I want to get across to people is that I'm more than a football player. My passion is helping people. That's really what does it for me. I mean, football is great. It's given me a great platform to be able to do this. I think if these kids can see, hey, that big tight end who plays in the NFL, 6'5", 265 pounds, he struggles with mental health, and so do I. And he reached out for help, so why can't I? Is my biggest thing that I want to get across to these kids. I really want to help people because I know what it's like to be at the bottom and struggle. So if my story can get out there and help the next kid who's stuck somewhere in life, that really is what I'm passionate about. So I'm going to bring up my mom now, who's going to talk more about the foundation.
Wow, I don't know how to come up after that. Obviously, I'm a very proud mother. Hayden afforded me the opportunity to come and run the foundation for him. I was in sales for 38 years, but now I have a passionate goal. And we're just so excited about, number one, being here in the Baltimore area. I always say God works in mysterious ways. And to have us up here and just the outflowing of support and love that we've already felt. Hayden has had a bumpy ride. We thought he was going to be playing in the Major League Baseball, and here we are with the NFL. And of course, I love football more than I like baseball, so this is a really good thing. But no, we're real excited about this opportunity here in Baltimore because Hayden did. He wanted the Baltimore area to realize he wanted to give back here. He's not just a football player, that he's very passionate about helping others. So we're extremely excited about the partnership with BTST Services and what we're able to accomplish here. So this critical catch is so important to us, and we hope this is just the first of many campaigns we can do where we can raise money. So please feel free to go out to our website and donate. We're looking forward to the golf tournament. Hopefully we will have beautiful weather like today, a week from Friday, but we're excited about it. And our foundation is really, our mission is we want to raise awareness of mental health issues in adolescents and teens. The reason we want to focus on adolescents and teens, not that college players are not important or adults, but we hope that if we can get to teenagers and to young people and help give them ideas of how to deal with the stress that we have today with all the social media, everything else that's going on in this world. Kids just have so much pressure put on them. And to realize that someone like Hayden that has had two careers has been able to say, hey, I struggle every day. I still have problems. We all do. We're not perfect. We're all a little crazy. We all have our issues. But we want to help work with teens by funding projects and programs, and donations and fundraising is going to be critical for us for that. We know that many people suffer in silence. You won't hesitate to go to a doctor about a cold or a fever, but when you talk about your brain, which is the central part of our whole system, why do we struggle so much to be able to talk about, you know what, I'm not feeling good today. I really feel depressed, and not be afraid to help that person, but to walk with them to help get therapy. So we're excited about BTSD services and what they provide, and we're looking so forward to going to these schools and seeing the kids' reactions and being able to say, wow, it's okay not to be perfect. So thank you so much for the opportunity, and thank you, Baltimore.
So to talk a little bit more about the clinical component, we've talked about the program on the macro level, but just how it's going to work and what we're going to be focusing on in the treatment of the individuals. I would like to bring up our Executive Director, COO, Ms. Jada McCrae.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm just so super excited to be here. Thank you so much, Hayden. Thank you so much, Kathy. Thank you so much to the Hayden Hurst Family Foundation for sponsoring the Critical Catch. I was first introduced to Kathy. I'm a Baltimorean, so of course I love the Ravens, but I love the Ravens in a vague, momish kind of way, where you just, when they go to the playoffs, I'm like, yeah, I wear my purple on Friday, and that's really exciting. But I say that to say I didn't know about Hayden's story. And when Kathy came and she told me about Hayden, and she told me about his experience in getting drafted and getting the yips and all of the, my heart as a mom just kind of just broke for her and for the family in that moment. And I thought about this because I have a little son myself. He's 10 and he plays sports. And I know what a family commitment that is. It is a commitment to get up every day, to make sure that they're getting to practice, to make sure that they're practicing on the off time, to making sure and you're there at the games and you're rooting, even if you're like me and don't quite understand what's going on, but you're there. And I think about how, as parents, it's our job to find out the gifts and the talents of our children. And you're always watching for those gifts and those talents. And I thought about Kathy and Hayden's dad, and when they saw those talents starting to emerge, and they saw that he was great at baseball, and he was great at throwing, and he was great, and he would reach this level, and all of those hopes and those dreams that they had and that Hayden had, and this future that he had planned for himself, and that other people had planned for him. And then for something that he, not of his own creation, something that's not of his own fault, happening and then completely erasing that future. What does that feel like? And I thought about a lot of the clients that we encounter and a lot of the people that we encounter in mental health and in Baltimore City, and how they too have hopes and dreams of a future, and how that collapses, oftentimes because of circumstances that are beyond their control. And I thought about how Hayden, talk about resilience, how he literally picked himself up, because how scary is that? I've been doing mental health pretty much my whole life at this point. And so if I just had to start over from scratch, and it's not a decision that I have to make, to have to pivot, to have to go a different way and determine what else do I have to give. And for him to be able to decide to go a different way and to transform himself into an NFL player, which is, we all know that's like hitting the lottery twice. How does that even happen? But you think about that, and you think about, you want to attribute it to luck, but you think about Hayden's story and how he shared it with other people and how he showed other people that you can have a hope and you can have a future as well. So I'm so excited that he's here, not because of everything that you went through, because I'm sure that when you went through the darkest times, it didn't seem like there would be a light at the end of the tunnel. But now that we're here, we can look back on it and think all of that was not for naught. And that you are now here to inspire other people, and you're blessing other people with the experience of having mental health and mental health treatment. So people who don't know that they have a future now understand that they too have a future, and Hayden is providing that for them, all because of his experience when he was in his dark place. And I see our clients who also have those same experiences in their dark places, and when we share our stories and when we share our struggles and when people see us triumph, we then give people the benefit of community. Because community says, I'm not alone. So every time Hayden gets up to tell his story, and every time Kathy tells his story in his absence, and every time the Hayden Hurst Family Foundation gets out there and they tell people what we're doing, it tells people you're not alone. You're not alone in your sadness. You're not alone in your darkness. And there's light on the end of the tunnel. So I just think that's really exciting. And because of that, we put together a great curriculum. We have a lot of different events. If you guys don't know, we have over 30 trauma-trained therapists here at BTST. So we're more than equipped to handle people in a way that is with kindness, gentleness, and also to do it in a way that is astute, in a way that is professional as well. So we have people from all walks of life that work here who are willing and ready to engage in the community to provide individual and family sessions. And even after this particular program is over, we have aftercare planning for clients as well. So it's not like it's just a one and done thing. People will be here. People who don't continue on at BTST will make community referrals as well. And we hope to engage the whole family because, again, it's not just about the individual problem. It's a family problem. It's a community problem. And we all want to make sure that we support everyone. That's it.
Well, I'm glad I went first. Because that would be very hard to follow. But Nicole Pearson from Coppin State University is going to have to try to take that task. Come on up and say a few words for Coppin, please.
Hello. Just very briefly, on behalf of the university, the Department of Athletics, we want to thank BTST. We want to thank the Hayden Hurst Family Foundation for this opportunity. Our student athletes, our coaches, our administration, we all look forward to this partnership, and we welcome you. Thank you.
All right, so we're going to be concluding this because we're going to head over to Poly Technical Institute for the first pep rally where we'll sit down, have a pep rally, have a conversation with Hayden. So I guess that's the touchdown. Thank you guys for coming out.